off of this episode.
Cancel this.
You're canceled after this episode.
I didn't even get a freaking famous wardrobe. I didn't even get lunch.
Welcome back to another episode of the Butterfly Effect Podcast. I'm your host, Liana, and today I'm joined by the one, the only, coming in at 280 pounds.
80? Like 215.
215 pounds.
And 205 with my clothes on.
Off? I didn't need to know that.
10 pounds clothes.
Well, you definitely have about 10 pounds of rings on. To show the people the bling. Ooh! Ooh! Don't mess with him. Give you a good one, too. So this isn't your first time here.
Nope.
You've been here before, but this is your first time on camera. How you feeling?
Too old for this.
Oh, you're too cool? Oh, we can cut this now, because I'm pretty sure you begged me to come on.
Begged. Don't beg.
You did.
After shuffling out my schedule arrangements, I had graced Liana with my presence.
I live in your house.
Exactly.
I graced you with my presence. I am very excited for this episode, but equally scared because I have no idea what he's going to do. But thank goodness I'm in charge of editing, so I will control what comes out. But I hope you guys like our ambiance. Look at our fire I built by myself. No help at all. And you know we...
You couldn't light a match if she tried.
I could.
Really?
If I tried. Obviously, you know we like to get comfy cozy here, and the world right now, especially in the U.S., is a little crazy. So today we're going to have a little fun, talk about something equally as spooky, but not so scary like real reality, okay? And if...
Scary like...
That's embarrassing for you. I didn't even jump a little bit. Not even a little bit. God. This is what I have to live with. Okay, well, if you didn't know, I am psychic. I'm connected to the other world. But one thing, my dad has the best scary stories because if I'm psychic, which I don't really know, who knows, he definitely is connected to the ghostly side. And you've always had a fascination. You always watch those ghost shows, Ghost Hunters, Paranormal Activity. You love that stuff. So where did that start?
Houses, horror movies.
Yeah, you love the spooky stuff. And I love it too, so I get it from you. But like, where did yours start? Why you have a fascination with that?
Probably when I was like 5, maybe. Yeah, 5. Grandma had a house over the north side, right? I think her house bordered the wall off 94 on the west side of 94. Just right on the other side. She had a raspberry bush in front of her house. We used to pick raspberries, but growing up, I always slept in the middle of Grandma and Grandpa, so just remember, I don't know if it was a night terror, because I had a lot of night terrors too, but there was a dark figure in front of my bed, and it looked to be a little person.
And it started a fear for you for a long time.
I had a phobia for a long time.
It's because you woke up and you saw someone, and you were in between your grandparents, and you had you were frozen.
I just screamed bloody murder, I guess.
And they woke up? Because isn't that called sleep paralysis? When you can see demons and you're like awake, but you're kind of still asleep and you can't move?
Yeah, it's like night terrors too, do the same thing.
Because one of our cousins has told us about those. Alana. Yeah, she said she used to get really bad night terror and where she would see like demons when she was like sleeping and she couldn't move.
Yeah, I couldn't decipher whether mine was dream or real or not.
And then when you had those, wasn't that scary movie The Leprechaun out during your childhood?
No, I was older. like
Oh.
teens when that came out. Like
Oh.
probably 15, maybe.
That movie's scary.
Leprechauns?
The Leprechaun? That scary little gremlin guy?
Where's me party go?
Ooh.
Who's got me? Deep look, oh, deep bloom.
Like that sends chills down my spine. That didn't scare you? Okay.
Kids play.
What was your first scariest movie as a kid?
Exorcist.
That's the one that gets you? Why?
So I remember we had an apartment. My mom, we lived with her friend and whatever, had an apartment or something up here, and then down the block my dad had an apartment, which I didn't really go over much, but somehow I think they had a poker night, and me and Rini were there. Rini was sleeping, and I woke up, somehow got the TV on, turned the TV on, and it was The Exorcist.
Oh my gosh, that's so scary. Especially as a kid, I remember that kind of stuff. Like, ooh, I would just have to force myself to go back to sleep.
And I think I'm not 100%, but I'm like maybe 70% sure when I turned it on, it was her when she's just laying there like that, and she's all, demoned out, and, there's like cold and frost coming out of her breath, and she's just breathing.
That's scarred in your brain?
Oh, I had nightmares for probably to the age of 15.
Over that scene? But you still watched scary movies after that. So it was like self-sabotage in a way.
Well, there's a lot, stuff in between then. So I'm not really scared of it.
But Exorcism was your favorite, or that's the scariest, the pinnacle of scary for you.
Yeah. And then they came out 20 years ago, maybe. The reenactment of The Exorcist, where Linda Blair does a crab walk down the stairs.
That one was crazy.
Yeah, that freaked me out.
That one was scary. Those type of movies are yours. You watch like Pet Sematary. Was that scary when that first came out? Cause it's so corny looking back at it now.
The original was scary. See, like back in the day, we had The Exorcist, Halloween, Friday the 13th.
Yeah, you guys did have
shortly after that, Nightmare on Elm Street.
classics.
Mix in there. So yeah, we've had some. Halloween was probably the second scariest. It's just that music when he's like, when I was like real young, trick or treating and like spend the night at a friend's house, and after we go through the candy, blah blah blah, and then we have to go to bed because we're kids. But I just remember the hit, our friend's parents watched it. I had my pillow up.
Scared. But you've always been into scary movies. That's cool. But you also have some real life scary stories that you told me when I was younger, and I believe them, and I want you to share them with the audience. What's your first one that comes to mind, that the scariest thing that's ever happened to you? Or your first paranormal event?
Well, I can't decipher when and if it was the beginning or, in like the paranormal world, that, there is data that shows, like, when you enter, something of that nature, you can bring it home with you. You know what I mean?
They attach?
Well, not necessarily. Yeah, sort of, but we had a house over in Camden. Just remember waking up, I think I don't know if it was just because I was sleeping on the couch. There was a point where Rini threw something on my back and hit my spine, and I was pretty much down for like 2 weeks.
What do you mean?
From a comb, a wooden comb.
Hit your back and you couldn't walk?
Yeah, I was down. So I was laying on the couch and woke up, and like it was like there's a duplex and up and down, whatever they call that. Duplex, but like when you walk in the door, there's a bedroom straight across. That's where me and Rini stayed, and then it's a foyer, and then you got to the left one of those old, like houses like that are typically in Minneapolis, where it's opening into the living room, and this wood, like really, neat wood frame.
Mm-hmm.
So that was going to the living room, and off to the left was my mom and dad's room, and then couch, whatever, and then the kitchen was beyond that. So waking up and looking in that open area to our bedroom and the front door was just pitch black, and I was staring at it like, because my eyes couldn't adjust in the dark, and all of a sudden I heard, Katrin. I just screamed.
What?
Yeah.
I don't remember that story. So you think that is what started all of it and attached to you?
I don't know if it attached to me, but other than that was the only time of occurrence that I've had at that house.
At that house? But then you went to the other story. Tell that one.
My cousins?
Yeah, when you're at grandma's and grandpa's.
Oh, that's my aunt's house.
Oh.
That's my aunt and uncle basically bought a house. I'm not going to name names just for...
It doesn't matter, yeah.
Right. Some people don't believe, but... So, they bought this house over north. It was kind of in the same area. We all... Well, my mom's side, pretty much, a lot of us lived on the north side for a long time. As they lived there, I can't particularly remember how long they lived there, but seemed like a while. But I heard stories that when they bought it, they found burial stones. Because I think my aunt put a tanning bed on there, and when they were renovating the basement, that's when they found burial stones. And then I guess underneath the sink in the kitchen, there was one step underneath it. Why they didn't take that out, but they said upon doing research, it was buried over kind of like where they would take care of slaves type thing.
What? Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Really?
Not take over, so help slaves.
Yeah.
Harbor them, hide them.
Yeah.
Type of stuff.
The good side.
Yeah.
Okay.
So apparently there's a lot of death in that house.
Could you feel it? Were you ever scared being in that house, like as a kid?
Not at first. I mean, it was just your typical old, we'd always hang there when the parents went out and drank or whatever. So we were there one particular night. My grandma was watching us, and, we were just being kids and, playing in my cousin's sister's room. She had a lot of stuffed animals. And we decided to go down and get a snack and something to drink, and, Grandma was watching TV, and we came back up, and all her stuffed animals were sitting up around the whole room.
What do you mean sitting up? They were standing? Or they were set up?
Set up.
But you guys all left the room. Every one of you. And then you came back and they were all sitting up? That's terrible. What did you think? Somebody was playing a joke?
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember exactly. I know we ran downstairs, got my grandma.
You guys were all freaked out by it.
And that's when the stories came. Yeah.
The stories? What stories?
My grandma saying that we were all sleeping, and basically she was watching TV, and she, when you have that feeling someone's watching you type feeling, she got that feeling, turned to the left, because right when, let's say, this is kind of where the TV was, the couches, and then if you look left, there's a stairway.
Mm-hmm.
There was someone sitting on the stairway, she said.
Oh, my gosh.
And my grandma and my Aunt Linda said they were in the kitchen and heard some in the the hallway, and looked, and they said there was some lady in a white dress in the hallway.
And what are they doing when they see this?
I don't know, we're kind of a tough family, so I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Didn't you say there was one time when Grandpa was sleeping?
Yeah, Grandma told me that one time she heard some thumping, and she thought it was us. And she went upstairs and screamed, "You guys, Grandpa's sleeping, and I'm gonna spank your ass if you don't knock it off."
Mm-hmm.
And she heard it again, so she got frustrated and came up. We were all sleeping, and the thump was coming from my grandpa's room. And when she went to check on him, she said that there was handprints around his neck. He was choking. Someone was choking him, and that happened. I guess my aunt said the same story.
So it happened multiple times, or my
grandpa and my uncle.
And how long did they stay in that house?
A couple years at least.
I would have been out. If that would happen here, what would you do? Move out? Immediately?
We'll see.
You would stay with a ghost here?
I would see if it's a residual, or this someone that is not like demonic, maybe.
I guess. What was the one with Alondra in her crib?
Oh, same house.
Like, there's 12 too many stories.
This is right. Like every year, Wizard of Oz would come out, and we didn't have infomercials. There was none of that. So at a certain point, your channels were white noise. So we were all together. Londra couldn't even walk. She couldn't even stand. I don't know, she was a baby. And she was in the playpen, right behind us as we're sleeping on the floor watching Wizard of Oz. And I woke up by Londra crying and the white noise from the screen, and pretty much looked like Londra was standing up in her crib like someone was holding her up tight. Freaked me the fuck out.
And she was on less than one.
Baby, yeah.
When you told me this...
She was screaming her ass off. That's what woke me up, was the white noise and Alondra screaming.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, that's scary. I believe that.
I don't know. To this, I'm not a medical expert.
You're not?
And I've talking to multiple people that were in this situation. We all tell the same story. For years, I'm not naming names, but he would soil himself and say hi to like 15, like PM poop.
I know. I know what you mean, yeah.
But, and that's, he's my cousin and his family, but they said it was a medical condition.
Okay.
But after, kind of getting older and knowing how things work, and just at the age where you can probably draw your own conclusion of the situation. His fucking room directly had a door to the attic.
So you think he was being haunted?
100% sure.
Did he say that?
He wasn't yeah. And I'm just his problem is he was scared to death, I think.
Oh no. What did he say would happen at night?
He just said there was a little boy that, that lived up in that attic.
At the Camden house?
So then when they actually finally moved out of that house, he moved over in Brooklyn Park. We helped him move. I mean, I was young, so I didn't help much, but he goes to me and he's like, "Yeah, followed me." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He said, "Yeah, that boy followed me." And he was probably 14, 15, 13.
Scary.
And I'm like, "Well, what? Where's he?" And I get his same old room. Had the same attic cutout in his bedroom closet.
At the new place? That's
so
weird.
I was like, "Well, where is he now?" And he's like, "It's it's right behind you. As I turn, I seen this kind of like Dutch boy figure type.
This is sounding like The Conjuring. Yes, it is.
Everyone in that era wore shit like this, suspenders.
Okay.
Oh, he just looked, like Oliver Twist-ish. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can only see
old.
I can only see I pretty much seen his like mid leg and up, but it was I could see right through him, almost like shadow figure. But that's what he did. As I turned, I just seen him run away towards the window and just evaporated through the window.
So hand to God, you've seen a ghost.
Yeah.
That's not say it. Say it word for word.
God, seen a ghost, a couple of them.
Oh, when's the last time you've seen a ghost?
I don't know. At the apartment, I would see. I don't know if it's my glasses because my are progressive, but I would see like shadow things off, like in my peripheral, and as I turn, it's just. I don't know if it's just shadow, but
that apartment had weird energy. The whole building. But specifically our apartment. Even Desi, Talia. Oh, God. No, don't tell me. Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
I don't know.
I'm going to throw up from fear right now.
Our TV upstairs turns on by itself periodically.
I'm going to throw up. I've noticed that. I thought you guys were leaving it on for the animals.
And I don't know if it's a glitch in the TV.
No, because remember when Molly... So upstairs in our living room that we have next to the TV, there is a record player. And Molly
doesn't like Al Green.
So she's racist? No, she's okay with Bob Marley when it's in front. But there was a ball that was thrown over by the record player, and I guess Al Green's record was in the front, and she would refuse to go over there. She would go like around the perimeter, go like this, or go around, and then she would just sit there and cry for the ball. She would not, and it was very not obstructed by anything. She could easily get it, but she would not go over there and grab the ball. And that's scary. So maybe there's something attached to that record. And we have to sage it, like on The Conjuring, how they have that room full of things.
She's scared of that light, too, though.
The blue light? Oh. Well, remember...
It fell on her almost, and ever since then, she won't... If a ball goes by it, she won't even take it.
Okay, so maybe that's what it is. But when Bob Marley was out front, she had no problem.
But once I switched to Al Green, she would get the ball under there.
We should test it. Stay tuned. No, but that's not the only situation with Molly in that apartment. I'm convinced there's some
old clock, or that little clock that looks like a little Godfather clock.
Yeah, when it would it dings at the hour, but it would ding at random time.
And then when we brought it home, it dinged. It went off.
When it was at Grandma's, it wouldn't work, and then
it didn't even work until we brought it home, and then it dinged. And then
at random hours.
Molly stood on the couch, and her hairs were straight up like that, and she was staring right at it.
There's something to that because on Christmas, remember, we had a Christmas tree up, and like way when I was younger, my grandparents, or was it Ted and Julie that got everybody those snow globes, those Christmas snowmen?
Oh, that was, yeah, I think it was Ted and Julie.
Regardless, that part doesn't matter. Everybody, like every family in our immediate family got these snowmen with the stomachs carved out saying your last name, and my Auntie Jenny had passed away, so we have hers as well, so we put ours, the Donovan and the Hauser ones out at Christmas. And when like 4 Christmas ago, we were all just sitting in the living room watching movies. We turned on the lights in the snowmen, and Molly started barking at it like crazy, like, but not at the snowman, like a little bit above it, like looking at it and barking like crazy, and her hairs were standing straight up, and she wouldn't go to it. Like she would get close and she'd be like growling, not even just barking. She's like, "Rrr, rrr," like she wanted to fight whatever she could see, and she would like go up to it this way and then get scared and run away, and then try to go around this way and get scared and run away. So it was definitely something with attached to that snowman. That I remember my stomach dropped. I've never been so scared. Like I felt like something was over there, and we were all looking at it like, do you remember that? Did you think something was there?
Could have been Grandma. It could have been
Or Auntie Jenny.
Auntie Jenny or my mom.
Yeah. Because it was also by the chair Grandma liked.
Yeah.
Do you think you're ever visited?
I don't know. I don't feel like I've ever been visited by any of them. But certain subtle things would come on. So we were at Hallmark. I can't remember what came on the radio. I think it was like "You Are My Sunshine" or something. Something to that effect that my grandpa used to sing me on his guitar. So I think subtle things like that, maybe. You know, when you're in the store and something comes on that you remember that, you know, you've lost one as dead or something.
Mm-hmm.
What it is, I don't know.
I do think when you pass away, it's a peaceful experience, I'd like to think. And you're met by your loved ones on the other side.
You know, kind of hoping to be reincarnated, maybe as another person.
What would you, if you could choose to come back as any type of person, what would it be? In any type of era? And I bet you he's about to say like a Chinese emperor.
No, they're evil.
T.
They're kind of bad. Especially, you know, what they did back in the, what was it, Qin Dynasty. Just bad people. But, no, I would have to go. Because the way my vibe is, and the way I've always wear, like, cabbie hats and all that, I would have to probably go with, like, older English settlers back in the day.
Why?
I don't know. I could just see myself the cold golf hat.
Just for the aesthetic and fashion reasons you don't want to do. You do wear a golf hat. I'm surprised you didn't wear one today. You had to be cool for the kids.
Didn't match. Well, I suppose I did have one that matched, but it's kind of wool, so it makes me get hot from it.
You turned 50 this year? 49. So this is your...
I'm 1 year younger than Maurice, so he turns 50, and I turn 49.
Your last year before you're halfway over the hill, is that what they say?
Yeah.
How does that feel?
I don't know. I wish I could dream more.
Dream more? What do you mean?
I don't dream as much anymore.
Maybe you just don't remember them.
I do remember. I mean, I have a couple of dreams now and then, I suppose, and a couple dreams with mom in it. But
I'm gonna throw up
but now I like
from disgust this
I
time.
love having horror dreams.
Why?
I don't know. They're fun. My favorites are zombies.
Do you think that could really happen someday? A zombie apocalypse?
Never know. Never know.
What would you do if we got the breaking?
Well,
breaking.
If you're like a social media fanatic, you know, I'm not a fanatic, but I did see where they said that they actually found a zombie like somewhere out of the country. It was
A singular zombie? Well, then, if they killed it, then what's the problem?
TikTok, you know, they spin everything. And
You're a social media fanatic. You're a Facebook warrior.
I know.
We're being graced, our presence is being graced by Minnesota's finest Facebook warrior.
Yeah, trying to keep it alive.
What do you think your role as a Facebook warrior is?
I like just, I don't know. If people are going to talk shit on it, I'm just going to talk shit back. It's fun.
You enjoy talking shit? What happens if you see them in person?
It's like, oh, you're going to talk shit too. If I hurt his feelings, so what? You know, you're not hurting my feelings.
You don't get your feelings hurt online? Why not?
It's a spoof. It's a scam.
It's a scam? You think it's separate than you? Than reality?
I think so.
You don't think there's any
I get
overlap?
drawn in like everyone else does, but I mean, it's, yeah. I don't know. See, what I see on social media has nothing or don't pertain to anything that is in my life, really. What you see on social media is different than how you live your life, I believe.
Do you think...
I just like talking shit because it's fun. I mean, you know.
That's what you like to do on Call of Duty, too. You
Right.
see it as like an outlet to get your inner demons out.
It's kind of a release.
I see. What's the biggest fight you've been on social or Facebook?
Probably a few of my coworkers. Not gonna name who. My ex-coworkers.
Going back to social media and how it is, like, you kind of say, like, it's a separate entity of yourself, you think?
Well, like, when I got cancer, you know, it was a time where I didn't pick my phone up a lot. You know, I would call people, you know, tell them how I'm doing, blah, 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 but I didn't go on social media for, like, at least 6 weeks. Quite frankly, it was, like, the most exhilarating thing. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's almost like you go to a hypnotherapist and they're like, you know, social media is like, all right, you're gonna listen to the sound of my voice, and then as you listen, you're gonna clear empty thoughts, and then on the count of 3, you're gonna fall asleep. And then you wake up, and now you're hooked to everything you see on social media. You know, Fox News, CNN. You know, there's hundreds of thousands of freaking YouTubers and you know, people out there just spewing just crap.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, you know, I'm just like, once I looked at me, it was like, I felt normal. You know what I mean? It was just, life was
better when you were
present.
off.
Life was present.
You
life
were present.
Present on your phone. Life was present. I mean, social media is not life. And people,
no.
That's, you know, how, you know, that's their life. But yeah, it was like I was just in life. You know, I'm just, you know, dealing with the worst probably pain I could ever deal with. You know, sores in my nose, sores under my gums, in my mouth, and my tonsils on my tongue.
Yeah, it was hard to see you.
And then, you know, I just bumped my nose and just gushed all blood. So it was, you know, really painful. Everything that you see on Facebook is diluted or stretched way far out.
Yeah, it's a perspective that people are trying to push. It's not necessarily reality or even what they believe sometimes. What do you think life would have been like if social media would have been around during your childhood?
Probably be the same as the one when I didn't have child. You know, when I didn't have it.
You think? Because you don't think that Desi and Adrian's life growing up with social media and then your life growing up without barely any technology wasn't different?
I had to hustle to get a pager. I don't even think you know what a pager is.
I know what it is, but I still don't understand the concept.
We couldn't afford anything like that. We, you know, didn't have cable. We had regular television. My mom couldn't afford a cell phone, especially to have her a cell phone and me a cell phone.
Are you saying that the way you grew up, you wouldn't have been able to afford technology? So, okay, but I'm saying, what if you could? You don't think your life would be different? You probably wouldn't have been doing all that naughty stuff in the streets that you were doing. Maybe you would.
Probably.
You'd be recording it.
I also have a playbook online to go through.
Oh my god. How do you think that kids are different because of it?
From what?
Social media. Because for me, I grew up with more like you, where I didn't have access to all of that technology, but at a certain point I got it. But then you saw Desi, Talia, and Adrian grow up with it in their hands. Not as much as iPad kids are now, but they had a lot more access even than I did. So do you see a difference between all of us?
Yeah. Well, you're kind of old school, like a little bit, but you still have the new, technology in you because of your stubbornness, I mean, yeah, but that's hard because your mom's stubborn too.
What's my stubbornness got to do with it?
Well, because you're like one of those people that are, you're kind of old school as far as like your beliefs and this and that, but at the same time you adapted to new things, new school. Where me, I'm an 80s child, 90s, and I'm 49, going on 49. I understand new things, but adapting to them is, it's probably a no-go. Mumble rap, all that bullshit, But
okay, you sing some of the songs.
It's not mumble rap.
Okay.
I'm on that good cushion. That's not mumble rap.
I will never forget the day we were. I was just in high school, I don't know, doing homework or something. My dad was just doing the dishes, and all of a sudden, we hear him singing, I'm on that good cushion alcohol. I got some damn bitches I can call. I didn't even know you knew that song.
I got a wide range of, musical stuff up here.
Okay.
Trick pony.
No country songs? I like a few.
I do like My Green Tractor and Country Fried, but
that's not even the song of the name of either of those songs. My Green Tractor and Country Fried.
It's not?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Maybe the Green Tractor one, but Country Fried, what's that one?
You've never heard of Country Fried?
Sing it. No, I want you to sing it.
I don't remember how it goes.
Oh, you can't claim it then.
Because I haven't listened to it.
I need a little bit of Country Fried. That one?
Yeah.
Cold greens on a Friday
night.
Pair of jeans that fit just right. In the radio on. All right. Well, what else you want to talk about? What else do you need to get off your chest today?
I don't know. Hey, terrorists. They're fun. No, I had a zombie dream the other day. It was pretty cool.
What happened?
We were pretty much trying to escape a building. And what had happened is we were vacationing. And then all of a sudden, it was just, we were in a building trying to escape, and there were zombies, and I'm trying to go in these different rooms, and for some reason I could find these like escape hallways in these old houses.
So you're like in a maze. Scary. And you like that stuff. Do you like using the Oculus for scary things?
It's kind of spooky.
That scares me.
So it's, I don't know, it takes away from the fact.
It hurts my head. I don't like how it sits.
If we were like, say this whole room was an Oculus.
We'll get there someday. Well, that thing we did for Adrian's birthday,
Yeah.
that was scary. The zombies really felt like they were like in your ear.
Or like that Black Mirror. So we just put the thing in and let me.
Oh.
in. I do it.
You'd get the Neuralink?
No, but the thing is put on your temple and you game like virtual reality.
Okay. I just figured like something has to go in the brain for it to connect if you just set it there.
Just brainwaves, electronic.
Oh. Well, that's beyond my degree. I don't know.
Or something. Forgot about this one. This one was pretty gory. This one kind of scared me, and I've been scared in a while.
Oh, buckle in.
So we're all of us, me, Mom, Mike, and Amy. We're in this kind of like circus environment, and drove in, and all of a sudden we were like split up, and then there was like these people trying to tell us like, you better hide because they're coming. And I remember like finding this attic, and it's like one of those old attics where you gotta push the wood aside, and then there's a wooden, ladder.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm up there and like, come on, we gotta hurry up. I'm like grabbing your mom, pretty much dragging her and carrying her up the damn attic. And then as we get up there, I turn around and there's a freaking old lady in the bed.
You need to stop watching scary movies. That's terrifying. Remember that movie where the old lady was naked?
Which one? Not Barbarian.
Maybe it was that.
Or the other one.
I don't know. There was another one, and it was scary. Like her titties were hanging to her knees.
Yeah,
Maybe it was Barbarian.
Well, she wasn't old. She was more of a crossbreeding experiment.
Oh, yeah. That. There's so many weird movies. Do you think our movies now are any comparable to the ones when you were a kid? Do you just think that, though, because when you're a kid, you're more scared of things? And it's new?
Well, the only thing new that I would compare to movies like that were actually scary is probably the Conjuring series.
Okay. My final question for you is top 5 movies of scary movies of all time. Okay? I'm going to give you a second to think about it. And we're going to start...
That are in my wheelhouse?
Yeah, your top 5 horror movies of all time. And we're going to start with 5 and work our way up to number 1. So do you need a second to think?
Number 5 probably would have to be Halloween. Even though it's a cult classic, I would have to... I put it down there. Good for its era. Between that age and now, it's just like there's so many movies out there about serial killers.
It's true, but it was the one that started everything. So I can see why it made its way on to number 5. Number 4.
That's a good one. I would have to probably say Evil Dead.
Oh, I forgot about that movie. Because you like zombies?
They're not zombies.
Oh, what is it? A virus?
They're demons.
What's the plot of that one then? I forgot. Wasn't that a game that you'd play?
No, that's Silent Hill.
Oh. This man literally, anything spooky, he's into it. But
No, Evil Dead is pretty much a group of kids, younger adults, going to a cabin, finding this book, the Nomicon, and it's the Book of the Dead. When you read from the passage, then the dead demons come to life.
That's right. And that's what Cabin in the Woods is based off of, right? Because that's like the same thing. And then they have different ways to die.
Well, Cabin in the Woods is more or less, there's people that control the outcome of the people within the house. Because they need their blood to fulfill and feed
Bigger demons.
the bigger whoever it is.
That's right. That was a good movie, too. You should start your own scary movie podcast. That'd be cool. There's no you, though. Okay, number 3.
I'd probably have to... That was a hard one, though. 3, I would have to do... Insidious.
That's a good one. That one freaks me out. Ooh, that old lady in the dark. Ooh, scary. Why is it on number 3 on your chart?
Well, the other part 2 is a little bit better for me. I mean, part 1 was scary in a lot of parts of this movie, but I don't know. I just couldn't get over that red demon dude.
That face, yeah. Oh, they did a good job with that movie.
To me, that was cheesy for me.
Oh, you thought it was bad?
Not bad. It just wasn't. It didn't like. Like the Nun. That fucking.
But that was the movie that started that whole universe. Because Conjuring came after that. Yeah. Okay, what's number 2?
The Nun.
The Nun is the scariest one, almost the scariest? Really? Okay, why?
Just the whole aspect of a demon nun.
Yeah. But I feel like...
I lead more towards the paranormal...
religious side?
Paranormal religious side of horror movies. I mean, I do like zombie movies, and I'm a zombie fanatic, too, but they're not scary, though, zombie movies ain't.
Yeah, they're more jumpy, scary. But that's what I thought the Nun was. Like, the concept is scary, but, like, it wasn't... You kind of could predict what was about to happen.
Yeah.
Some parts, no, though. They had some really good jump scares in that one. Okay. And number 1 spot. Get a drum roll, please.
Yeah, it'd be The Conjuring.
The Conjuring? Yeah. The first one? Yeah, that one's a classic. I can rewatch that one.
See, I'm trying to, think back, 'cause right around that era, we had so many fucking good movies. And you were too young to watch them, really.
What era?
Just, mid-90s.
Oh, yeah.
So what was it? Paranormal Activity came out. That was
in the 2000s. That's when I was watching that. Yeah, I was a teenager.
Oh. What about Blair Witch?
That was when I was a little younger, yeah. That one. I Know What You Did Last Summer. That was a spooky one. It was like jump scare.
Oh, I forgot Nightmare on Elm Street.
That's why I was like, you didn't even do any of your classics except for Halloween.
I meant to say Nightmare on Elm Street.
Instead of Halloween?
Yeah, because Halloween was only scared me when I was little. Just the music.
Yeah.
Michael Myers himself, and the whole Butcher's Name didn't really scare me.
But Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah, that one was spooky. Freddy?
The first one scared me.
Or is it Jason? Freddy.
She's like, what's his Sydney? And he's like, she's dragging, or someone's dragging her in the body bag, and his blood going,
Oh.
Just because I've had night terrors, that kind of scared me,
Yeah. Okay, that's a good list. I want to go to a scary movie festival. Have you ever been to, a movie festival or anything like that? I think that'd be really fun. Something to look into.
Or would you be opposed to going somewhere and doing a paranormal experience? Especially around Halloween when everything's supposed to be enlightened.
You guys, I don't know. I think I want to just to experience it, but what if it attaches? What if that's true and something attaches?
You just gotta sage yourself and walk backwards into your home.
Where did you hear this walk backwards one? See, you don't even know.
I heard it somewhere.
No, I don't know. Didn't your mom sleep in a scary house or a haunted house?
Yeah, in Stillwater.
Did anything happen?
Supposedly someone died on that floor or something.
What isn't there's scarier places that are towns that are hot spots for paranormal activity, I heard.
There's a building, mansion in Duluth.
Yeah.
The train in Duluth is supposed to be haunted. We got a theater in St. Paul supposed to be haunted. First Avenue is supposed to be haunted.
Yeah, that makes sense. I also like the Black Hills too. There's a lot of death over there.
St. Paul Caves.
Yeah. Well, maybe the next time you'll see him, we'll be doing a vlog of us sleeping in a paranormal house. That'd be kind of cool. We could start our own paranormal show.
You know how many damn movies are out there where they go investigate and they don't make it out of it?
Stay tuned. Any last words for your friends that are watching?
It's all hearsay, toxic.
hearsay talk, say. That's right. You heard it here first. All right, thank you for coming on, Dad.